Hi there, this is Deanna with your oil a day, and today we're going to talk for just a couple of minutes about bergamot. And I actually have heard other people in the essential oil world pronounce it bergamot. Sometimes I say that, and sometimes I say bergamot. It's just, I don't know, it just depends on what comes out. But it looks like bergamot, so that's what I'm going to go with. But this is actually one of my favorite oils, and I use it every single day. And how I like to use it is for mood. And the reason why is because it is just so good at calming anxious feelings and stress. It's very relaxing. And so how I do that is I take the bottle and I just put a little bit in my palms, probably 2 or 3 drops, rub my hands together, I inhale it, and then I put it through my hair. And the reason why, and then I usually rub it like right there. And I don't do that until the oil's been rubbed in because I don't want to get it like wet on my shirt. Just kind of get a little bit of the aromatic compounds there on my shirt. So I can kind of be a diffuser for myself. And you want to be careful with bergamot because it is a citrus oil. And like all of doTERRA's citrus oils, they're cold pressed from the rind. And so because of that, it's going to cause you to be very sun sensitive. And out of all the citrus oils, bergamot is extremely sun sensitive. So it'll tell you that if you put it on your skin someplace where your skin's going to be exposed to the sun, that you could actually get burned like 72 hours later, which is, 3 days later. And I've actually done that before. We used to have a blend that had bergamot, cold pressed bergamot in it. And I put some just on my chest so I could breathe it in. And then 2 or 3 days later, I went outside for a couple hours and then I got horrible blisters. So when you're using the bergamot from doTERRA, a lot of other companies don't cold press their citrus oils for that reason, but then you miss out on a lot of the really therapeutic benefits, and so we don't do that. If you see that bergamot is in like a skincare product, it's because it is very good for the skin, but that means that doTERRA has steam distilled it instead of cold pressing it. So if you're making your own skincare products online, you'll see a lot of recipes that recommend that you add this to things that you're going to put on your face, like face scrubs and stuff. Don't do that because they're thinking that of other brands. And so if you're using a doTERRA skincare product that has it in it, then you're fine because they know better and they will have steam distilled it and not cold pressed it. But be careful. But so I like to use it because it's really, really calming. And another way that even helps it even more is we talked yesterday about basil and how calming basil is and how it helps you when you're overwhelmed. And I just find there's something magical about combining bergamot and basil together. So even at nighttime when you're trying to sleep, those two are great for the diffuser. Just put a couple drops of each in there. And as I mentioned yesterday with basil, since it's so like strong and herby, adding a citrus oil to it just kind of makes it smell a little bit better. And there's just something about bergamot and basil together. It's an amazing smell. It's super, super calming. Another use for it, it's also still calming, but it's like specifically for when you're during like your PMS time and you're feeling maybe some of those hormone changes that happen and that can affect your mood. And so for that reason, you'll find that bergamot is found in some of our women's blends. But if you just need a little bit of extra boost, then this would be a great oil to use for that during that time. Another good thing is if you are doing some kind of exercise, like maybe you're performing in some kind of sport, you need to be on your game. Bergamot's a great one to inhale before that. It just kind of helps you. It gives you a little bit of extra calmness and energy and focus at the same time. So it's just an excellent oil for that. If you're wanting to work on your brain health, so maybe somebody that has had a past brain injury, a stroke, just struggling with some memory issues, bergamot is an amazing oil for the brain and especially for diffusing. So there have been a few people that I've known that have been recuperating following some kind of a brain injury or stroke or something like that, and I've recommended that they diffuse bergamot a lot because we know that when we inhale the oils, that's the fastest way to affect our brain, and so that's a really, really good way to use bergamot. So basically you're going to find that it is mainly used for calming and for brain health, neurological health. But there's also been some studies that are done that show that it's good for the respiratory system, a healthy inflammatory response. So it's just a great oil. It does a lot of things. So I would recommend just remembering that this is because it's citrus to stay out of the sun. And keep this one on hand for days when you're just struggling and you're stressing and you're snapping at people. This is my current happy oil, and this is the one that I keep on hand all the time. It's in my purse. I have, my son has one. He's 2.5, and he has sensory processing disorder, so he can get overloaded sometimes with just a lot of information hitting his brain at the same time. And usually, because he doesn't know how to cope with that yet, he can just have a full meltdown, which is different from a tantrum. It's just where he's just so upset and doesn't know what to do, so he just kind of melts down. And my husband discovered that in those situations, if we take a little bit and rub it on his chest, that it really, really helps to calm him and get us through that meltdown a lot more smoothly. Again, be careful about where you live and if his skin's going to be exposed later. We're in Tennessee in the wintertime right now, so we're not too concerned about him getting sun on his chest, but just always bear that in mind when you're using it. But it is a great one for kids, for calming, and great one for moms too, and I should know. Okay, so we will be back here tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We're going to talk about one of doTERRA's blends called Balance. I use it every day, and I can't wait to tell you some really cool uses that you may not know about Balance tomorrow. So we'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Ask your questions, share the video, and maybe we can help get the word out. And every day we're going to learn just a little bit of information about a different essential oil, and we can educate families by sharing the video. Thanks for spending today with me. Have a great day. Bye.